Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome to your reading. We're going to take a look. Oh, Libra, you showed up. Boy, did you show up. We're going to take a look at your reading for the eclipse that is happening on September 7th. It is a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. And we're going to be talking about Libra. Libra sign came up, so this is about finding the balance in partnership because it's the 7th house, and Uranus. So Uranus is currently in Gemini, and in Gemini, it's trining your sign. It's supporting your sign in a nice flow of energy, but it does also indicate sudden change, which with an eclipse, we have the sudden release of energy. It is a karmic rebalancing that happens during the eclipse seasons. And so there is a letting go. Oh my gosh. And we got the lightning bolt, which I totally connect with Uranus's energy. And so a sudden shocking change, transformation. We have the butterfly and the snake shedding its skin. We have the deer, but this one has the antlers. So this is about it's a male energy, right? But it's also about tuning into what is going on around you, being very sensitive and aware, along with this cat energy, which also suggests that. And we have a clamshell, which may or may not have a pearl in it. And so either there's some wisdom coming through, or there's a hidden treasure, or what you thought was going to bear some sort of a treasure may in fact not have that kind of treasure in it. Let's get into the cards and see what they have. But I'm getting, yeah, sudden shocking change in partnership, something about finding your balance, your footing. So yeah, okay, wow. Look, I don't read reversals, but I also don't take two cards to the center, but they said to. And we have the Ace of Cups, and it's in the reverse with the death and transformation. I do think for some of you, there will be an end to a situation in order to create space for something new. Now, the end to the situation doesn't necessarily mean the end of a relationship. It might mean that it is an end of a discussion, an end of an argument, an end of a phase, an end of something that brings around the balance. Something is revealed. They're saying something is going to be revealed. It's like the bolt of lightning. So when the sky is all dark and gray, and then the lightning crashes through it, and something is suddenly illuminated for you. Overall energy, Three of Wands. This one wants to come too. Knight of Cups. They're very, okay, look, we have the Magician, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Wow, that's alchemy, making choices and decision to receive what it is that you want. To receive what it is that you want. I want to say what it is that you deserve. So the outgoing energy being the Two of Wands and the overall energy being the Three of Wands is a progression, right? But it is through your own efforts. The Magician is this energy of thoughts becoming things, of alchemy, of pulling things together in a way that really works. And so where you have been trying to find the balance and not really getting what you want out of it, this Page of Pentacles, trying to be in balance with something that is of value to the heart. This is the area of your situation where it has been challenging. And so it has been like trying to find balance in a situation that doesn't feel balanced. Doesn't feel balanced at all. Don't worry that these cards were coming out in the reverse. I don't read them that way. It doesn't really matter. They just get thrown in there. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo season, Queen of Pentacles, searching, seeking to nurture. Look, she is tuned into her intuition much like that deer. So I always equate the deer with, especially the doe, with the Queen of Pentacles. That is the way I look at it. But here she's got antlers like that male deer. And so there is something about a need to really, the answers that you seek are within. Oh, wow. Huge. Look. This is like looking into your soul self, right? He's sitting on the ground, but he's looking into the waters below. This is the interior. interior energy. Full moon lunar eclipse is happening in Pisces, and Pisces is the depths of your soul, the depths of your being, right? This depth, this transformation is looking into the depths and the soul of the being. Something that you thought was the answer at some point, I feel like it's a need to let it go. Full moon eclipse is always about releasing and letting go in order to create space for something new, a new opportunity to come in. With this energy here of healing, this is where the transformation is going to end if you will allow yourself to flow forward. Okay, so she's being carried forward by this magical energy around thoughts. It's almost like if you release the thoughts, they will pull you forward. Where you have been hanging, in stasis, in indecision. It's like the indecision, the time for indecision is over. If you notice, the Two of Wands, she has two options, but she set one down and she's looking to the future, right? And the sun is coming up. And so there is an ending of a situation in order to allow a new situation to come in. The Six of Pentacles was in the heart space trying to maintain some kind of a balance, a give and take, and even flow, and yet something was out of balance. Something wasn't as it should be in partnership. Now, partnership could be business or it could be romantic. It is definitely one-on-one, two entities that working together in a major aspect in your life, right? And so it's generally considered around love or business partnership because it is ruled by Venus. The seventh house is ruled by Venus, and Venus is she's either about things, it's about things of value, whether it's romantically or financially, because Taurus is more around the financial aspects. But in Libra, she is around relationship balance. But relationship balance could be still a business partnership. Like maybe one person has been carrying the heavy burden and doing all the work, and somebody else needs to. And so there needs to be a more of a fairness, a harmony that needs to come in, a consideration of what other people need. So this Two of Wands here is the lower echo of what's going on in the heart space, which is two, the High Priestess. This is receiving the downloads and the information you need, right? It's like you've been hanging there looking for the answers. They're in your emotional waters. See, she's reaching in and touching the waters, right? And when you do that, you create this alchemy that allows you to choose what you're going to paddle out into, what direction you're going to go, in order to receive what it is that you really, really want. And so I don't know, your reading seems so very straightforward here. So action to take is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is sitting and receiving from a higher plane. So it's really interesting because there's this emotional energy, the going into the depths of it to seek what you want and allowing yourself to be pulled forward. But here, look how calm and relaxed he is. And that owl of wisdom is hard to ignore. Okay, so we have the bat, that's intuition, and we have the magic of the raven there. We have the wisdom of the owl. And so an owl representing wisdom. Wisdom is around experience and information, knowledge and experience. When they come together, when they work together in an alchemical way, that creates the wisdom that we use to make choices and decisions. And so there is a decision. You're at a decision point of what are you going to let go of in order to allow this transformation, the butterfly, something to manifest in the 3D world. The skin of the snake will be being shed in order to create something new coming in. You have here the card of desire. Be certain of where you have placed your passion. What is it that you are most excited about? What is it that you want to do over the next 6 to 12 months, right? Because it is a cycle. It's an 18-month cycle of the nodes, and they are what determine where the eclipses are. And they're the nodes of the moon, which is about intuition. It is about emotion. It is about safety and nurturing. And so as they work backwards through a sign, and they got into Pisces, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. They got there about 6 months ago, and so they have like almost another year to go. And so that is why I'm saying this is a 6 month period, because we'll have another set of eclipses in 6 months, but it doesn't really wrap up its cycle for another year. And so there's this transition, this unwinding of energy around some kind of a karmic energy. The nodes of fate are around fate and karma. And so they're unwinding at this time as they're moving through and transiting. And there's something where you are completing a cycle. Because it is a full moon, it is releasing of energy, it is the end of a cycle. But because it's in Pisces where the North Node is, it is about creating space for something new, a new opportunity, something new to enter into your world. And so here we have the whale that says, break through to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your circumstances. There is a breaking through this trying to happen. We have a new moon coming up in just 2 weeks that is also an eclipse in Virgo, which is about discerning and disseminating and to decide what has value and what doesn't have value in order to create something new. And that energy also will carry through for the next 6 to 12 months. And so eclipse season is really important. You just had the South Node go through your sign in the last cycle, right? So finally cleared your sign about 6 months ago when it backed up into Virgo. And so you know that for the last 18 months to a year, you were doing a lot of letting go of things, and you're being asked to continue to do this only around something that you value, right? Something that is really important to you. So, it is okay to look for better work. For some of you, this is around business partnership, but I have to admit, this is mostly a career deck. So it is okay to look for something better, right? We're talking 7th house, better partnership, romantically or financially, right? And partnership financially, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so for some of you, it might be that you have always done business with this particular financial advisor, and you're starting to wonder. You're starting to wonder if everything is okay there. Like, are they skimming the funds? I'm getting this kind of theft thing going on. Okay, so are they taking a bigger cut than they should? Maybe there's a better deal for you, right? So, but it's something around finance or business. It is okay to look for something better, a better opportunity in a relationship. If you have been staying in a relationship that is not emotionally satisfying, where you feel like you keep trying, but nothing ever seems to be gelling in the way you would like it to, then maybe it's time to consider that you are holding yourself back from the opportunity that you deserve. So be discreet in your search, it says. Okay, so if you have a job and you're looking for a job, the best way to get a job is when you have a job, right? That is the best way to change jobs. But you may want to make quiet inquiries. When they ask you, is it okay if we contact your current employer? I would say no. Because sometimes what happens is as soon as they find out you're looking, they may terminate your employment before you even have a new job and lined up. So you want to not do that. So discreet inquiries. If you are in a partnership that is romantic, don't go getting on the dating apps before you've completed the one. That is not fair and balanced, which is something Libra needs to ascribe to, right? And so being discreet would also mean you might be interested in someone else, but you don't tell them, you don't engage with them in that way until you have completed the current relationship, right? You need to be aligned with your life purpose to be fully satisfied. If you are not where you want to be in your life, if things are not the way you want, you have an opportunity here for a death and a rebirth, to turn this into the upright, to fill your cup up again, right? To pull that energy up from your soul self to fill that cup. That's how it's supposed to go. Also, if you are counting on a partnership to make you feel whole and complete, Libra, I know this is something that happens frequently with Libra. I want to encourage you to understand that if it's you that has to fill up your own cup, okay? And then you have that to share with someone else in the Two of Cups, where they exchange the cups, right? But you can't do that if your cup isn't full. So you have to love yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. You have to enjoy yourself and the life that you live in order to attract an energy and that is like that. And so this is not this. So say you decide, okay, yeah, no, that's it. This relationship is over, right? When you start dating again, which for Libra will probably be rather quickly, make sure you're doing things you enjoy. Those first dates need to be affordable and they need to be enjoyable. You don't want to be um, you don't want to be spending a lot of money on first dates because then how do you impress later? I dated a Libra once and very extravagant, and yet his heart wasn't in it. He was like, I thought because of the magnitude of the dozen roses for my birthday, or the here's a plane ticket, come visit me, or like all those things, the amount of energy financially that he put into it, I thought he was also putting in emotionally, but he wasn't. He wasn't investing that way. He spent hours one day at a perfume counter trying to decide which perfume to buy that he thought reminded him of me, right? And those kinds of things seem they're wonderful, right? But he wasn't emotionally committed. And when I realized that it was easy for him to do those things, to make the grand gestures, he still wasn't able to commit here. And so try to avoid doing that in your next situation, because you set people up when you're over the top at the beginning that they think they're being swept away. Like, this guy's got it all, this girl's got it all. They're like right there and everything, but you haven't actually committed inside because you're still like balancing things. Is this an emotionally satisfying, balance out situation for me? And when you go over the top like that to start, it is mixed signals, and that I think leads a lot of times to Libra being dissatisfied in the end because the other person thought you were all in, and you shouldn't be at the beginning anyway, right? So allow for a slow evolution. Be willing to sit and wait for the right opportunity, for the right thing to kind of come through for you, right? To sit and patiently wait and use the guidance and the wisdom that you've gained and your intuition, and be discerning, right? Choosing more carefully this next time, whether it's business or personal, the relationship that you're moving into, that it's actually what it is that you really want, right? That desire says, be certain of where you place your passion. Don't go all in unless you really feel it. All right, Libra, that's for the next 6 to 12 months. I'll see you guys again soon. You take care.